Hi, I'm April.
And I'm Bayleigh.
We are real-life friends and neighbors.
Together we run a business called Passionist Designs.
Our favorite part of our job is being in people's homes and hearing their stories. As we became inspired by these stories, we wanted to share them with others. That's where the Nestled podcast was born.
So join us each week as we are encouraged to pursue our own design decisions based on what we love instead of what fills our Instagram feed. Every home has a story, and we can't wait to hear yours. Hey guys, welcome back.
Hey, we missed you guys.
We missed you all so much last week.
Yes, we would have much rather been doing a podcast than what we were dealing with. So,
yes, our sweet little baby Miller was sick, and then Aniston got sick. But you'll hear in today's episode Miller whimpering some. And while we recorded the episode is when she just went downhill fast. So
she took a turn for the worst, and it was really dramatic, and we were all really worried about her. So we're glad that she's on the up and up this week.
Yes, thank goodness. I'm thankful for healthy babies this week, which was not what I planned to say, but I'm so thankful that she seems to be doing so much better, because there are a few things scarier than whenever your baby is really sick and you feel helpless. There's nothing you can do about it. So
yeah. Well, and this week I am thankful for our school system and our teachers. And I know that there are so many people who complain about their public schools, and I know that they all have their flaws, and ours definitely has their faults. But this week I was just reminded, one of the middle school teachers commented on a picture of my kids and talked about how she loved them. And I was just reminded how great it is to be able to send my kids to school and know that there are people who care about them, genuinely care about them, and look out for them, and are able to teach them in a way that I can't, because I did homeschool for a lot of years. And there came a point that it was just too much for me to do. And we also ran into that same teacher at the park, and she was so kind and sweet. And we were there for an awards day, and there was like a gap between the two grades. And she's actually the librarian. And she came to me and she was like, my little boys were with me, bring them in the library and let them watch a movie. And she put the smart board on, and just people who care beyond their job and like go above and beyond. And so I was just reminded this week that we have some really excellent teachers in the schools in Mobile. And so I'm really thankful for that.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Absolutely. So thank you, teachers, all of you listening. You're overworked and underpaid. I know, because my husband does it.
We're also thankful for purging.
Yes. So we have purged the mess, literally, well, not literally, because I still have a mess in my house, but we are purging the mess out of our house. Yes. We have I talked a little bit on our Instagram about this last night, but we have eliminated a ton of our clothes. It feels like all of our clothes at this point in preparation to do a capsule wardrobe. So I'll keep you posted.
Stay
tuned. Yeah. To see if I end up just naked, or if I manage to pull off what I'm trying to do. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I did another toy purge, and as my 5-year-old was crying because I threw away a toy that he literally plays with all the time, I was like, maybe I took it too far. But we have to
we're just trying to survive. Yep.
So
that's what it takes sometimes. Goodness.
You have to make the hard decision.
Yes. Yes. So today on the podcast, we are talking to Angela from This Gathered Nest. She has a Instagram. You may know her from that, or you may know her from her YouTube account. But we love chatting with her about her family and the way that they look a little different than maybe a typical family. Her kids have come to her in all different ways. But we hope that you enjoy listening to her share about that, and then just also about her home. So here's Angela.
So today we have with us from This Gathered Nest, Angela. How are you?
I'm great. How are you ladies?
We're doing well. Angela, will you share with us a little bit about yourself and your family?
Yeah, sure. It's kind of like a long tale to tell, but sort of the short version is that I am a mom of 7 kiddos, they've kind of come to our family in different ways. We do have 2 biological children. 5 of our children are adopted from all over the world. And then our youngest are twin girls. They're about to be 8 months old, and we adopted them as embryos. So I did carry them and give birth to them, but they are not our biological children. So our family's kind of made up in this very unique and modern way. And so I kind of share all about that on my blog, and we have a YouTube channel. And I just kind of share a lot about family and adoption. I'm a huge advocate for adoption. I don't think it has to be plan B for people. And I really like to share that. I think it can be scary, but it's such an amazing and beautiful thing. So I definitely consider myself an advocate in that regard.
Right.
But that's just kind of like, I guess, like the Cliff Note version.
Whenever you were sharing about how it doesn't have to be plan B, I agree. And we like to say that in our family too, because we have our daughter who is biologically ours was 1, and then we started the adoption process for our daughter Maisie, who we adopted out of birth order. And then we came back around and had our 7-month-old. So, yeah, it doesn't have to be one or the other. And you don't have to have all your biological kids and then start your second adopted family like some people think either.
Right. Yeah. I have a really good friend who they got married and they said, we want to adopt. And that's what they started doing. And people were like, oh, well, are you infertile? Like, what's the issue? And she was like, there's no issue. We just really feel passionate about adoption. They did go on to have biological kids, but they adopted first. I think that's really neat.
Yeah. I think you just pray about it and you just do what God leads you to do. And it's not always a easy yes at first, but once you say yes, I don't think it's one that you regret. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Are people always surprised whenever they hear that you did an embryo adoption? Because I feel like not many people know about that.
Yes, people are not just surprised, but shocked and have lots of questions.
That's what I was going to ask you. What is the most common question about the embryo adoption?
Is it my husband's baby and not mine? They seem to have. I'm surprised, and I truly say this jokingly, but I mean it in the nicest way possible. But I am really shocked at how little sticks from health class in high school, because people don't seem to understand the difference between an embryo and a sperm and an egg.
Right.
And so when you say we adopted an embryo, they're kind of like, wait, so is it yours or his, and they seem so confused. I'm like, no. There's no parts of us, either one of us, not him either. So that's usually the biggest question. And it doesn't help that one of our twins looks exactly like my husband.
Well, I was going to say that.
Yeah,
I laughed. I watched one of your YouTube videos that you said that.
Yeah, she looks exactly like him. So we get a ton of questions about, like, are you sure?
Right.
And you're like, well, I mean, maybe.
I guess there's always a chance. I mean, what do you say to that? Like, I don't know. But yeah, people seem to be a little confused about that aspect of it. But otherwise, once you kind of equate it to IVF and help people understand that it's like embryos that someone else didn't use during an IVF cycle, then that helps. I think they're like, okay, they kind of connect the dots a little bit more, because I think most people generally these days understand IVF.
Right. Well, and I think it's such an interesting concept too. If you're pro-life and you believe that life begins at conception,
right,
then these are little lives, you know, and then I see them on your page and they're so precious and beautiful, and the thought of them not getting their chance at life is just heartbreaking.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
And it's one of
them and I want to cry. Yeah, it's just like, how could it? I could imagine a world without you. And there's so many embryos available for adoption, basically, or donation. There's kind of, I use those words interchangeably, but it definitely is more a donation than an actual adoption.
Okay. Right. The thing that is, I think it's easy because it's an out of sight, out of mind thing for people, that we don't have to think about that, and we don't have to consider that those babies are frozen in a lab somewhere, you know?
Right. Absolutely.
Well, awesome. I'm glad that you did it and you're bringing some awareness to it, because there also may be people who are struggling who don't even realize that's an option to try.
Yes,
so
absolutely. And that's why I love to share that, because I really don't think a lot of people even recognize that it's available to them. And it's such an amazing thing, because I have adopted children through more of like a typical way of adopting. But there
Right.
is something so special and beautiful about being pregnant and carrying a baby and delivering a baby. And I think a lot of women have that just like burning desire deep down inside to do that. And when you can't do it biologically, sometimes that's really painful, and it's almost like a death that you have to deal with. And so having this as an option to say like, okay, you can still experience pregnancy, you can still experience birth, you can still experience breastfeeding if you want to, all of those things. This gives you that option, which I think is really, really special.
Yeah. And
It
oh my
is.
goodness, the bonding of that first 9 months that you got to experience. Like what I wouldn't have given to have had some of that back with our daughter that we adopted, you know?
Right. And there's such a big difference. And as an adoptive mom, I'm sure you recognize this. The trauma that a child goes through, even if you adopt them from birth, they still experience trauma being separated from their birth mother.
Right.
And so this is definitely unique in the sense that it doesn't bring the same trauma to the brain and things like that. These babies only ever have known me as their mother. I carried them, I delivered them. So really, it's just a genetic material thing. It doesn't have the same struggles that a typical adoption would have.
Yes.
Or could have, not always, but could have.
Now, if they ever, is it all closed? If they ever wanted to meet their biological parents, are they able to, or are they typically closed?
That's like a case by case thing for people. So I don't want to give like a blanket answer because it's going to be different for everybody. Some donors don't want any contact at all. They just want to donate their embryos and be done with it. And some want pictures, some want connection, and you can kind of decide what type of situation you want to enter into if you're going to accept someone's donated embryos based on, you can make a choice there as well. It's kind of like, if you were going to do a domestic infant adoption and you wanted it to be closed or that kind of thing. So there's options.
Gotcha.
So Angela, what would you say home means to you?
I think that's evolved for me, but over the years, home has become for me a safe haven, a soft, cozy place to land. Not just like physically, although I do love a good snuggle in my bed. But like emotionally too, where everybody in this house, we just take care of each other. We love each other. We encourage each other. We're kind to each other because especially being on social media and stuff, the world can be a cruel place. So this is our safe haven. This is our safe place.
Yeah, we love that your name is This Gathered Nest because obviously nest was really important to us in our business name and also in our podcast because we feel the same thing of a soft place to land for our family. So I love that.
So what do you remember most about your childhood home?
Oh my gosh. So as I can't remember if I've mentioned this or not, but I have an older sister. She's 13 months older than me. So it was just the two of us for most of our childhood. And my mom was the greatest at creating atmosphere in our home. And that's what I remember the most is just the smells. Our house was always tidy and picked up. And she was always cooking something. And we were always listening to like classical music or like a ton of like Andrew Lloyd Webber and like musicals and things like that. So she just set the tone in our home for it to be really peaceful and calm. And I loved that because, again, it always just felt like a safe, welcoming place to come back to. And I enjoyed being there. It was never chaotic or crazy. It was just kind of this really calm place.
Right. What do you hope your children will remember about your home, given that your childhood home was so peaceful?
Yeah, they're not getting that here.
I was about to say, you have a few more kids at your house, don't you?
Yeah, nope, not happening here. I love that. It means so much to me. And when my girls were little, I tried so hard. I mean, I envisioned myself as having like the quintessential like Little Women home, right? We were going to sit by crackling fires and read books and pet kittens, and it was going to be beautiful. That is not at all what God gave me. And so I have had to really learn to like embrace the chaos that is our home. But I will say one thing for my kids is that even though we have 7 children and even though our 2 boys are wild, we do really try hard to cultivate a sense of calm and peace in our home. There's times for being loud, there's times for being fun and crazy, and there's times for being calm and quiet. And so I think I want them to remember the energy and the love in our home, and just, yeah, that even though it was loud and crazy at times, it was also there was still that sense of peace and calm here.
Yeah. So would you say that is that's the feel and the personality of your home?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like I try to, as far as like how I like decorate things and how I try to make rooms feel, I really like a chic feeling room, but it's got to be like comfy meets chic. It's got to be something that is very functional for us and comfortable for us. I can't have furniture that we can't lay on, that we can't get comfortable on, that kind of thing. But I mean, I love a good velvet chair or cheetah print pillow or something like that to really like pop and be fun.
Yeah.
But still got to be comfortable and functional for us.
Right. We've seen pictures of your home and it's very beautiful. So is that something that's natural to you?
Nope.
Decorating?
Nope. As a matter of fact, I spent a lot of years just getting my mom's hand-me-down decorations, and my parents decorated their entire house, and I'm sure you'll be able to envision it right now in your head. Wood, burgundy, green, navy.
Yes.
Plaids, country, and I just inherited like her hand-me-down decorations when we first got married, and so I just used that stuff. And then we bought our first home, and I started kind of trying out different things. And I think I also fell into the trap, at least for the first few years, of feeling like, well, everybody else is doing this shabby chic, or everybody else is doing this very Joanna Gaines feeling house, and that's what I should have too. And I quickly realized that actually wasn't what I enjoyed. I don't enjoy all white, like to live in all the time, like all white walls, white floors, white furniture, white, that's just, I don't know. It's not my thing. So I thought, you know what? I know that nobody else right now in like design trends is doing this, color or this, whatever. But I just kind of had to say, like, I'm going to seek out designers and people to follow and people to get inspiration from that are making like bolder choices in their design. Because there's plenty of people out there doing it. It's just that I think what I feel like I see all the time across Pinterest and everything, it all looks the same.
Right.
And I like it. I think it's beautiful, but it just for me wasn't my style. And I kind of felt like, well, gee, am I weird? That I found people to follow, and I was like, no, I'm not weird. I just need to figure it out. So it's, for me, I always have to find something, like some kind of like little bit of inspiration or something to go off of. And usually I'll find a few pictures that I really like and then try to kind of marry the few things together and see how I could make it work in our space. But I'm definitely not like a designer at all.
Even whenever we go into a client's home and we're helping them to decorate it and they're telling us what they want, and then as the conversation evolves, I'm like, okay, now what? This picture that you have in your head that you think everyone else is going to love so much, get rid of that and tell us what you like,
Yes.
Show us what in your home you do like, and we can keep it, because they'll say like, oh, I love that lamp, but I know it's probably got to go. And we're like, no, if you love the lamp stays. We can work around the things that you like, And so I love to hear you say that, because we agree. Now, I like white, but I love color. So I like to have white mixed in with my color. But
yeah, like I have like all white bedding, and I realize that's probably crazy with all these kids, but I really do like a big fluffy all white bed. But other areas of my home, I don't know. I love color. It's fun. It makes me happy.
Yes. And I think you're doing the perfect thing by taking inspiration from several different places and kind of figuring out what you can make work with what you have and the things that you put together, because that is being a designer. That is creating something from, getting inspiration and ideas from different places and then making it work for you. And so give yourself a little credit in that. You are doing the work of the designer.
Well, thank you. I just feel like I see people who are so crazy talented and they put things together that I'm like, I would never think to put that together. But I will say, whenever we go into changing a room or designing a room, I will explain to my husband what I'm thinking, and he usually just stares at me with big eyes. Like, are you serious? You want to do what?
Right.
And then I always have to go, just trust me. and he's like, okay. And then when it's all done, he always is like, you were right, babe. It looks great. So now we've gotten to the point so many years later that he's just like, do whatever you want.
Right. Off the top of your head, can you think of anyone that specifically their design does inspire you?
Yeah, I wish I meant to look this person up because I knew I was going to have to say and I feel like I'm gonna butcher it, but I feel like it's two women. They're on Instagram, and I want to say it's like Classy Clutter or something like that. They use a lot of color in their design, and they both have like, you know, some of them have like striped walls and like black and white stripe, or one of them even has like a black buffalo check wall in her dining room.
Yeah, I love buffalo check.
Yeah, I love that.
And it
is Classy Clutter. I just
Is
looked
that
it
right?
up. Mallory and Savannah, Classy Clutter.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think they both live in Utah. But I love how they mix, you know, bright white clean feeling spaces with color.
Yeah.
I have another question just about the decorating of your house. Since you said you weren't super confident in it initially, has it been hard to be so public online within your home if you weren't super confident with how it looked?
Yes, because people, like when I painted my fireplace white, I mean, I thought I was getting like hate mail. I'm like, it's brick, calm down.
Right.
But people were angry. People were angry as if I had just killed their puppy or something. And I'm
Right.
like, I just painted my brick white. Please calm down.
Well,
So yeah, it can be really challenging because everybody's got an opinion, and they have no problem sharing it with you whatsoever.
Yeah.
right.
So it can definitely be challenging to feel like you've got to quiet the voices. And like a few weeks ago when I guess it was probably a few months ago now, I posted 2 different pictures on my Instagram and I said, I want to turn our dining room into my home office. I'm trying to decide which direction I want to go with the feel of it. And I posted a picture that had a little darker, more masculine feel with the wood desk and stuff. And then I posted another picture that was very bright white, gold accents, a little bit of pink. And I mean, a ton of people said, do the bright white, do the bright white. Everybody said that. But my heart said, I don't want that. I want the blue and I want the wood, and I want my green velvet chairs. And so I ended up just kind of going the other direction and doing a mix. I mean, I brought some feminine type pieces in as well. Obviously, cheetah print pillows, not super masculine.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was funny because even people, when I posted the pictures, were like, they recognized that I had kind of, you know, married the two things together, and they ended up really liking it. But initially, you know, I kind of like go against the grain of what people were saying, because that look, that white with gold, that's what everybody's doing right now. It's really popular.
Right.
It's really easy to find pieces and things like that. So I kind of had to just be like, but that's not what my heart wants.
Right, and I'm the one that's going to be sitting in it every day. That's what I was going to say
Yeah.
earlier about the brick. It's like, not only did I just paint brick, but it's my brick, so why do you care so much?
Right.
Right.
So, do you have, I know you just redid your kitchen, and then you just redid your office. Do you have a favorite place to shop?
You know, I go to a lot of, we have like some little local boutiques and stuff that I will go to try to find things. But I've honestly, I hate saying this, I have the best luck on like Wayfair. That's where I feel like I find so many good, so much of what I'm looking for, I can find there. So I try to shop locally when I can. But it can be hard to find exactly what you're looking for. And I'm really impatient when it comes to like waiting for someone to make something, or usually I'm just like, got to get this done in like 2-3 days.
Right.
So I kind of, wherever I could find what I'm looking for is where I get it.
We're the same way. We love to shop locally where we can. But yeah, Wayfair is where it's at for us too. I won't lie. We shop
Wayfair and Amazon.
Yeah, and Target.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
we
I was
shop all of
surprised.
them so much.
Yeah, I was surprised by Amazon. When I was doing the twins nursery, I was looking for like a gold side table and stuff. And I thought, let me just look on Amazon. And I mean, I was just really surprised by the things that I was able to find there and a good deal. Like even our little Moroccan poof and just things like that were really good deals on Amazon.
And then it's on your doorstep in 2 days. It's amazing.
No,
It really is
I
remarkable.
almost feel guilty sometimes with the speed of Amazon. I
I
feel
know.
like
I do too.
I feel like something's going to give, especially with now the Amazon Prime Now where you can get things within like an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, like a couple weeks ago, we had like one baby jumper and I was like, I really need a second one. Both babies want to be upright playing. I really need a second one. And I just went on Amazon Prime Now and was like, oh, look, a baby Einstein jumper for pretty inexpensive. Oh, look, it can be here within the hour. Because they even have it
my
within the hour
goodness.
delivery. So it was like within an hour, I had a brand new jumper for the baby and I didn't have to load everybody up and go to the store. And it felt criminal. I felt
Right.
bad. If I can avoid taking 7 children into a store, I mean, I can't get through the store because of all of the questions and everything. So I can't even like look at the things I need to look at. So the online shopping is just crucial for me.
I bet it is crazy town when you try to go in public. Not because of your kids, but because of the people. Because we get so many questions and stares. And then I have 3. And then you add in my sister's girls who are twins, and then we are really a sideshow, you know?
Yes. Yeah, I couldn't believe how much the twins really amped up the freak factor of our family.
Yeah.
I mean, we tried to go to the mall a couple weekends ago and I posted about it on Instagram and I was just like, y'all, going to the mall with 7 kids is not the hard thing. It's fielding the questions, dealing with the stares and the looks, and feeling like you're stopping traffic wherever you go.
Yes.
And I get it. I mean, especially for us, we look, we don't all match. And so that in and of itself has questions. But then we've got, these 2 babies. And whenever people see 2 babies, they just lose their minds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's really not that big of a deal. It's just twins.
It's
but
the
people
same
go
as
crazy.
one baby, but
It
2.
is. It's-
Yes.
We were so shocked at how many people asked if they could hold my sister's twins when they were little babies. It's like,
Yeah, that's a nope.
no, you can't hold them. No. We don't want you to touch them either, but you definitely are not about to pick them up. Absolutely not. It is crazy.
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh.
I used to be a lot more meek. Like 10 years ago, I probably would have, if God had given me twins 10 years ago, I probably would have been like, well, okay.
Oh,
And
yeah.
now I've just a lot more like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen though. They're cute though, huh? Yep, I totally agree. Don't touch them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back off. So something that we do at the end of every episode is love it or leave it. And we just
Okay.
read off some things and you can say love it or leave it. If you want to talk more about it, you can, or you can just leave it simple.
Okay.
So-
Yeah.
Scared.
It's very simple and there's
And-
no wrong answers. So it shouldn't
And
be
these are
difficult.
some that are just current design trends. So
Okay.
they're all in that
Oh,
vein.
okay. Can I say, please don't be upset if I say I don't like something that you like?
No.
People
No,
get so
absolutely.
offended.
Look,
No, it will
we-
not hurt our feelings.
we're used to that.
And we don't love all current design trends.
No,
so
we don't. All
Okay.
right. Floral wallpaper.
Love it.
love it. Same.
Same.
Okay. Copper accents.
Love it.
Same.
Yeah. We feel like 2018 was like our year. They brought all the things that we love that the world was not ready for, or at least our part of the country. But these are all ones that are current, and I'm like, this is my jam.
Yeah, I feel like that's like copper. I feel like is classic.
Yeah,
I
for
mean-
sure.
Hmm. Okay.
For sure.
A rich color palette.
Ooh, love it.
Well,
Yeah.
your home office is very on trend with that. So
Yeah. You're so up on the design trends, Angela.
Apparently, I didn't even know.
Okay, brass fixtures.
Love it. Like it depends. I guess I should say like my kitchen handles are all like a polished brass. We
Yeah.
did polished brass for all of our kitchen against like black and white.
mhm.
And I really like it. I know it's not everybody's like cup of tea, but I really like it.
I
well,
do too.
our next one was black and white decor.
Love it.
Okay, so how do you feel about millennial pink that's everywhere?
I don't know what that is.
It's
The
just-
kind of blushy pink that's very popular right now.
Eh. I guess
It's what
I guess,
you were not for in your office.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to say leave it.
Big. There you go. Okay, and then geometric patterns.
That's a leave it for me personally.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What about vintage lighting?
I guess I'll leave it. I feel like sometimes I don't even know what I actually like. I feel like I need to like see it. Do
You'd
I
have
like
to
that?
see
I don't
it.
know. Because it's a
Yeah.
very like case by case thing for me, but I'm just going to say leave it
Mm-hmm.
because I can't think of anything that I really like that.
Right. Now, I'm the same way. We talk about all the time that you can't really nail down either of our styles, but it's truly because I'm like, oh, I like that. I'll take that. I very rarely
Yeah, it's
am
like very
looking for,
individual.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily looking for a specific anything. I just see something I like, and I'm like, okay, that can come home.
Oh, totally. Yes,
Me.
totally
Yeah.
agree.
Okay.
You're very on trend.
Yeah.
So good job.
Yeah. So you announced on your Instagram just this morning, we're recording this on Monday, but it'll air on Wednesday. So do you want to share with everyone your news about your podcast? Anything you're willing to share prior, as of Wednesday?
Sure. Yeah, I wish I could share the name because I love the name, but we can't share it just yet. But my sister and I are launching a kind of a motherhood parenting podcast. It's definitely not, I kind of said like not your mama's podcast because it's really, there's a lot of amazing parenting podcasts out there, but this is going to be really fun and entertaining. And we're going to breach topics that I think a lot of people would maybe shy away from. I mean, I didn't say this on our Instagram, but I will leak it here. I mean, the very first episode that we are recording is going to be about sex after baby. Ooh. And so we are going to get like really raw and honest about what that's like. And, so I'm really excited because my sister and I, we have these candid conversations all the time with our girlfriends and stuff. And I just thought we need to like really open this space up and let women talk about these things and share about them because I think it can help so much. As much as it's going to be entertaining and fun, it's also going to be informative and hopefully break down some of those like shameful things that we feel or like feeling like you're alone in something. I mean, if you didn't have sex with your husband for 6 months after you had a baby because you were just like terrified, we want you to know that you're not alone, So we want to talk about all those things.
Well, and everyone doesn't have that girlfriend that they can be totally honest with. So maybe they can even listen to you guys and have their like, okay, me too moment since they're not getting that in person with someone, I love that.
I love it too.
And as soon as you are able to share the name, we'll share on our podcast too. So
for sure,
I know that our listeners will want to hop on over to that.
Yes, and everyone can find you. We need to go ahead and tell them where they can find you on the internet so that they can be following along and be at the beginning of this podcast. So tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, on Instagram, I am This Gathered Nest. I'm pretty much This Gathered Nest everywhere on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And then on Twitter, I'm Angela B. Mama. So I do not Twitter very well. So you can find me there, but you might be slightly disappointed.
Okay, and then I would be remiss if I did not mention this because I meant to say this at the beginning.
Yes,
and I forgot.
I was about to say the same thing.
We're on the same wavelength, I guess. Pretty much all of our guests that come on are way cooler than us, so like we're used to that. But we were preparing for your interview and looking through your Instagram and said, "Oh my gosh, she was in People magazine."
I feel like it sounds so much cooler than it is.
It was so really cool.
It's pretty
cool. It was really an honor, and I was very humbled. If you read my caption, I said, like, the first time he reached out to me, I thought it was a joke, so I didn't even respond. And then he emailed again and was like, hey, just circling back on this. And I was like, oh, you're for real. Okay. I mean, I actually like vetted him out, Googled him, like, are you actually a writer for People magazine? Because that's how much I thought there's no way this is really, they really want to talk to us. But it was really great. I saw it as such a great opportunity to share about adoption and, again, embryo adoption and just the different ways that families are made up. So I know I would love to see a world where I can shop at Costco without getting asked 5 million questions, and where even kids on the playground can conceptualize the fact that my white daughter and my black son are really siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So the more that we can share and kind of help people and help to normalize it, I think that at the end of the day, that's like my biggest goal.
Mm-hmm. And I know families like mine are so thankful for families like yours that are brave enough to get out in front of people and do that for us, because it's important that we have advocates like you. So thank you.
Yes, and it was a beautiful spread. In
it was
People
a whole
magazine.
spread.
I'm so proud for you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
Like, you
Yeah,
didn't
I'm
get just like a
definitely gonna frame
blurb.
it.
Yeah. Like, I've seen super famous people be like, oh, I'm in People magazine, and they're so excited they got like a thumbnail in the corner. And you got a spread.
It was very exciting. It was definitely very exciting. So
Yes. Well, congratulations, y'all. We're
Yes.
beautiful as
Thank you.
always. And we're, like I said, thank you for taking that opportunity.
Yes. And we're looking forward to your podcast coming out. We can't wait to listen, and we're big fans. We're going to be following along this journey. It's such a fun thing to get to talk to people in this way.
Yes, I love it. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
We will chat soon, Angela. Have a good day with all your babies.
I will.
Yes. Great to meet you. Thanks, Angela. Bye.
Thanks, ladies. Bye.
Bye.
We're thankful for Angela coming on the show and sharing with us. I know that sometimes when your family comes together in different ways, people are not always open to share about that. And so we're just thankful for her willingness to be open and transparent about how their family has been gathered together. And we also enjoyed talking with her about her home. And so we're just glad that we had the opportunity to get to know her a little better.
Yes. And now that you guys have heard her share a little bit about it, maybe you can quit harassing her at the mall.
Right.
So they can go shop and eat their Chick-fil-A in peace. So
Right.
we also really love talking with her, and we like talking with everyone about this, but about how she went ahead and asked people their opinion on her last home project, and then even though she got their opinion, she changed her mind and went another direction and was happy with doing that. And so we want to encourage you guys this week, if you are doing some work on your house or doing any updates, try for just a second to get the picture out of your head of what you think everyone else wants to see, and just look around and find something that you just really like. Even if it's just one piece to start with, just find something that you just love.
Right. And I think that we can definitely get inspiration from other rooms and from pictures and Pinterest and Instagram and all of those things. But when we start getting wrapped up in trying to make everything look a certain way, then we start to live in someone else's home and not ours. And so we say all the time, if you love it, it works.
Right.
If it works, if the layout works for your family, if that setup is what you need for your home to be the most functional for you, then that's what you should do. You shouldn't go on someone else's rules or someone else's opinion. And so sometimes you have to just be like, well, thanks, but I'm doing what I want.
I like it.
And that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So we hope that all of you other moms out there who have children on spring break enjoy your week with your babies.
Yes. We're headed out of town today.
Yes. We'll see how it goes. Some days I'm very happy they're home 1 minute, and then the next minute I'm saying, what day is it? Oh, okay. It was Monday.
And for you moms who are just really discouraged because you think that your kids are the worst, you're not alone.
And they're probably not.
And they're not the worst. But like, we had a conversation this week that we want so much for our kids to be kind.
Oh my goodness.
And I feel like that is what we are struggling with the most. And if your kids are not kind, you're not alone in that.
We're trying so hard.
We're trying so hard. And if you're around our kids and they're not kind, like, we really are trying.
We're trying so hard. April stopped by and I walked out, and I had just had this conversation with my husband, and I was saying, I asked him, why are our kids not kind? That's all I'm trying to do, and I'm just really failing there. And I don't know, maybe one day they'll wake up and I'll look at them and realize, oh, now you got it. Otherwise, I'm sorry, world, I really am trying to produce nice individuals. So.
Right. We just want to raise decent human beings, and we're really working hard.
So we'll see how.
But we're
goes.
taking them out of town.
Yes, that's right.
On vacation, so it's going to be a great end of the week.
That's right. We hope you all have a good rest of your week, and we'll be back next Wednesday.
Yeah, you can find us on the internet at poshnestdesigns.com, on Instagram at Nestled Podcast. And as always, we would love if you leave us a review on iTunes so other people can find us. And thank you guys so much for those of you who have and have left like the kindest comments. It really means a lot to us. And we read everyone. And we read all of your messages that you send us on Instagram. And we try to respond. And it really does encourage us. And so thank you guys. You're the best.
Yes, thanks. Have a good week. Bye.
Bye.